Hey guys! So today we're going to be looking at math. We are going to be talking about the break apart strategy again. And so we're going to get right on in. We are going to be working on lesson 9.4, multiplication. This is called decomposing factors, which was really just the break apart strategy. It's a fancy name for it. This is, again, we're working on solving real world problems. Last lesson, it was similar to this, but it was more focusing on the mental math portion. Today is really focusing on the break apart strategy. And so today we're going to be able to multiply two larger numbers using the break apart strategy. And last time I shared with you about Mr. Fleming wanting to go to the Indianapolis 500, right? And this is something that we're going to use again today, that if we had 5 people going with us and they cost $75 each, we can use the break apart strategy to help us do that. Now again, the goal here is that we should be able to know the break apart strategy by heart so that we could be able to use it mentally and be able to solve it in a different way. And so decomposing or break apart means that we're going to break one of the numbers up into an easier to work with number, choosing our helper facts that we want, like 2, 5, and 10, ones that we know. And so if this was 7 times 6, well, 7 might be harder. We might not know that. So I could break it up into 5 and 2 because 5 plus 2 equals 7. So you can multiply 5 times 6 and then 2 times 6. And then you'd be able to add those two up together, and 30 plus 12 would equal 42. And that's one way to do that with basic facts that we've learned. At the beginning of the year when we learned this, 7 was a difficult fact. It wasn't a basic fact. Hopefully, we've learned and we practiced that that's not an issue anymore. Today, we're going to be focusing on 2-digit and 3-digit numbers. And so this was normally going to be our mental math if we were in school, but this is, we are doing this here, so I'm going to help you think of it. So 38, we were going to think of two easier to work with numbers. And so since we could try to break it up into like 37 and 1, but I don't know how to multiply times 37. So we're going to try to find, if it's a 2-digit number, how could we break it up into one number that ends in 0. So 38, for example, would be 30 plus 8. I can multiply times 3 and then add the 0 and then multiply it times 8. Now, 8 might still be a difficult number for us to be able to multiply by, but hopefully that's becoming easier for us, and it won't be as hard. It will be one that we know. 63, same thing. We're going to break it up into 60 and 3. Now, this one needs to have one extra one. And so it would be 350 and 6. We don't want to bring 56 together because we still don't know how to multiply times 56. So we want to break it up into each individual piece. Same thing here. This is going to, actually, we don't need this one because it's 500. And then we don't, 0 is in the 1, so we can just put an 80 here. We don't need to add another one. We could, if you wanted to, put plus 0 if you want to do that. But since it's 0, the answer is going to be 0 because anything times 0 is 0. So this is a good reminder for us of how to break apart numbers, because I think that's something that some of us were struggling with the other day when we were working on it. We kind of forgot how to break apart these numbers. And so I'm going to model. This says Meg bought 7 boxes of crackers. Here's her 7 boxes. Each box has 62 crackers. How many crackers did Meg buy? So what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to first draw my rectangle. I'm going to number, label each side, kind of like if it was area, and then I'm going to divide this. So I'm not going to break apart 7, I'm breaking apart 62. And so the simple one would be 60 and 2. So now I'm going to multiply 7 times 60, 7 times 6, well, that is 42. If I didn't know that, well, I could say, well, I know that 7 times 5, right, is 35, and then add 4, and then that would get me to 42. Now I'm going to multiply the other part. 7 times 2, that's 14. But, oh, what did I forget? This is times 60. It's not 7 times 6, it's 7 times 60. so I need to add a 0. So now I'm going to add the 2 together, and I'm going to have 420 plus 14. I want to make sure I line it up, my ones place and my tens place together. I had no hundreds here in the 14. So 0 plus 4 is 4. 2 plus 1 is 3. And then bring down the 4. So my answer, how many crackers did she buy? She bought 434 crackers. All right, so this actually is on IXL, and it gives you examples here for number 10 of examples of figuring out which number model is correct, which one shows this written correctly, and then when you get to 11, it actually has you solving them. Okay, these are 2-digit numbers. Okay, these are the practice ones, just like in your workbook. Now, if you want to challenge yourself, if you're like, I really understand this, I want to practice this just for a little bit, but now I want to do even more. Well, some challenge problems is doing 3-digit numbers, kind of like in our mental math here, you'd be working with 356 or 580 rather than just 38 and 63. That could be something that you do as your challenge, but make sure you practice these on IXL before you go to your workbook, because some of us, I think, are skipping this step, and it's making us confused when we get down here. So this is going to be something that we want to make sure we do too. This is in your math message. This is not something that was in your packet, but is in your book and something that you should be able to do. It, again, is like our mental math. It's just giving us examples of how we can break it up. It says Jonah's garden is a rectangle with 16 rows for plants. He wants to plant 2 sections, one with 10 and then another one with 6. So it says to partition, which means to break apart the rectangle and label the sections carrots and beans. So this isn't necessarily a model, but what it wants us to do is think about, okay, we already know it's in 16, so I need to count 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And 10 is what carrots, those are 10 carrots. So I'm just going to put a C for carrots. And then there should be 6 for beans. I'm going to switch colors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this would be beans. It's all his garden, right? And the rows are the same amount in each row. But right here, or sorry, the rows are the same, but the amount in each row is not the same. That was wrong. The amount in each row is the same. How many rows there are. That is what changes. So this is just like the break apart strategy of what we just did. This would be 10. This would be 6. And then how many are in each? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is that right? Yes, sir. Okay, so there would be 9 times 10, and then 9 times 6, and then that would tell you how many total plants he has. So now I want you to practice here with 1, 2, and 3. It gives you a 1-digit number, and then it gives you a 2-digit number. You're going to be breaking apart these 2-digit numbers, okay? And you're going to be multiplying each part times the 1-digit number, okay? Make sure you draw your box first, label it, then break it apart. Okay, break it apart. Then multiply each piece times this. So I even helped you with number 1 here. Okay, you're going to do the same thing. Draw your rectangle. Okay, draw your rectangle. Break it apart. Write the 1-digit number. The same pattern each time. This is 36, I think. Is that right? Yep. So then you would have to break that up, put one number here and the other number here. 57, you're going to put one number here and one number here. And then you're going to multiply each one. Multiply each one. And then don't forget to add up your answers. Okay? Add up the answers. Okay, and right here is where you put your answer. Right here it says I can break blank into blank. That means you're saying I can break up 24. And what are the 2 numbers that you can break up 24 in? When you add them up, it equals 24. That's what it means by I can break that up. So in my model, if it says I'm going to break up 62, and I can break that up into 60 and 2. Okay, that's how that would be written for that question here in your workbook. Okay, when you're done working out in your workbook, I want you to get on Flipgrid, and I want you to show how you and explain how you solve number 1, 7 times 24. Again, I already started it for you, so you should be able to work that out. What strategies did you use, and how do you know your answer is correct? What makes you know that what you did got you the right answer? Okay, so hopefully that helps. If you need any help today, please make sure that you ask me. You can email me. We can have a Google Meet, and we can chat today. Thanks. Have a great day.